So, all right, I think we are live. I'm going to check it out for sure. Hello, hello. Listen, I know I'm 2 minutes late. I come sliding through here. I'm like, John's going to kill me. It's going to be great. But I think we are. I think we are live.
I just always worry I have the wrong day or time, and I'm always like going back. I'm like, pretty sure right time, right day. Okay.
I'm
Just
pretty
never know.
sure.
You never know. Different time zones and, craziness.
Oh my gosh, I was supposed to be doing hold on, there we go. I was supposed to be doing a team training the other day for a group, and it was 9 my time. And originally we had understood that. And then by the time the day come, I was like, oh, so it's 8 my time. And then I screwed it all up and we had to do it the next day. So time zones are fantastic.
Nice.
So anyway, I know we don't have a lot of time with this. Like, do you see who's on the screen? This is John Melton. Hello. If you do not know who John Melton is, you are living under a rock. And I mean, the last few guests that I've had on here, I've had to say that, but truly, no, this, like him and his wife are in the top 100 income earners in all this industry, like the entire industry, not just their company, whatever. Not only that, but can you imagine your team in the last 4 years selling over $150 million? Like, hello, that is the reality for their team. And it's because they have created not only the most streamlined probably process that I've ever heard, but they have mastered social media, and they've helped so many people win, create 6-figure earners all over the place, 7-figure earners. It's insane. But so you're here with the best of the best. And so, John, thank you so much for coming. I'm like, I've got to get John. Like, why the hell have I not had John on with me yet? So thank you for being here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here, and can't wait to get into some good stuff. And you've been crushing it too. So congrats to you, Michelle. You've been not only crushing in your network marketing business, but I see you all over Clubhouse, all over social media. Like, I know you ain't playing, so I'm excited to be here with you.
Man, you know what? I had a rough 2020, and my liver was really bad. It caused me to blow up. I've been losing this weight, all this stuff. And finally, at the end of the year, I finally got rid of the virus. So I feel like me. I feel so good. So I'm like, let's go. And then there's Clubhouse. I'm like, yeah, I get to hang out with people like John and all this. It's just been fantastic. So I'm like, let's do all the things and be everywhere. I want y'all to first know that we can't see your comments. I don't know why my StreamYard never lets me see them. I had Ray on here, and he was like, just so you know, I looked at the video after, and there were comments. Don't know why it's so weird, but you probably should go check those. So I'm like, okay. So I want you to, okay, there we go. I see people now. I'm going to turn this down, but I see comments. What's up, Sarah and Riley, Marilyn? Hello, Susan, Diane. Okay, we got people, so we're good. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to ask John some questions. And the first question I want to ask, and these are on the fly. He has no idea what I'm fixing to ask him, okay?
My favorite.
I ask people when they're interviewing me if I can have a list, and they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to get one either. It's fine. So there was a girl, she asked, she wanted to know, her specific question was, like, grassroots when you first started, right? And social media was not a thing, okay, when he started. I want to be clear on that. But she was like, she wanted to know, like, what was the feelings that you had? Like, were you hurt? I want to read it so that it's not took out of context. But I think, and she's one of our newer people. So when you were first starting out, grassroots, can you just show us like a picture of what it looked like, how you were feeling about the path you were on? That's exactly what she said. And that's Deborah who said that. And I'm like, I do wonder what that is versus now. It's just interesting to know.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I got started, like you said, in 2001, before social media, before we had all the technology we have today. But I was excited. I thought it made sense. I'm like, dude, residual income sounds fantastic. They said you could be from Yale or jail, 18 or 88. We're selling these products that, people are already using. People already buy like cleaning products, right? I remember they used to spray the glass cleaner in their mouth in the presentation. And I'll never forget, there was this one time I did it because like months later I was doing the presentation and I sprayed the glass cleaner in my mouth, and this lady in the back's like, oh no, he didn't. So it was always interesting getting responses from people that would either be super skeptical, super into it, like I was, a total red apple, and then you get obviously the people that are just kind of in the green zone, right? They got questions, and they're interested. They're kind of a green apple, right? They're skeptical, but they're open. I was a red apple. I mean, I just thought it made so much sense. These are consumable products. People are already buying them. Instead of them buying from the grocery store, they buy them from me, and I get paid every time they buy the products. And I remember I couldn't get my dad on auto delivery for anything except lip balm. So he was buying $4 lip balm plus shipping and handling. Like, it was so hard back then to get customers. And I just, honestly, I just got excited about recruiting. So that's, the company we were with actually got shut down, and it was basically a pyramid scheme. It was all about like recruiting recruiters to recruit recruiters. And we were getting people to buy these like big $2,000 packs. We called them bibs, business in a box. And you're like, dude, you should get 2 bibs, because if you get 2 bibs, that's 4,000 in volume. And now you're a supervisor. Congratulations, you just rank advanced. So it was a very different time back then. But I will say, even though the company itself, the business model wasn't completely legit, there wasn't enough focus on customers, enough emphasis on customer acquisition. I learned so much in that first 2 years about myself, how to be a leader, how to just communicate with people, and have a work ethic, like things that, interestingly enough, we're not taught that stuff in school. We're not taught anything about business. We're not really taught about life. Like, think about this. In school, they don't even teach us what like a credit score means or what a mortgage is. It's kind of crazy that they teach us stuff. And I don't want to say it's all useless, but it's mostly useless knowledge, useless facts. And, when I saw network marketing, I was like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. And, prior to network marketing, I mean, I was 20. Yeah, I was 20, almost 21. And I felt like a loser. I felt like there was something wrong with me because I didn't like school. Like, I liked the social aspect, but I was never into like studying and,
Right.
learning about things that I didn't care about any of that history, algebra, geology. Like, I didn't care about that stuff. Like, I was like, I want to make money. I want to make money, and I don't want to go to school. I don't have money for college. So I was going to community college at the time, and I dropped out of community college to do network marketing. And even though that first company did not work out, and I was completely clueless, super insecure, lacked confidence big time, I took what I learned in network marketing and I went into the mortgage industry. And I was the rookie of the year the first year, made $125,000 at 24. And then the next year I made $250,000, made $250,000 my second year in mortgages. And I was number 1 loan officer in a very large mortgage company in Baltimore. But the truth is, it was because of what I learned in network marketing. Like, I learned how to not make excuses and how to be a warrior and not a whiner. I learned, how to be efficient. We don't talk enough about efficiency. People are like, why do you have 2 phones? And it's just like little things, like I might be listening to an audio clip on this phone while responding to alerts over on this phone. Like, I'm so psycho about my time. Like, I don't like wasting moments, especially when I'm in work mode, because I know how important it is to be effective and efficient in order to maximize the results, especially when you start thinking like a millionaire. Like, what does a millionaire make per hour? Like $500 to $1,000 per hour, depending on how many hours they work. Like, are you doing $500 to $1,000 per hour activities? If not, you might want to rethink your priorities and what you do from a day-to-day basis.
Gosh, it's already so gnarly. I mean, I hope y'all are taking notes. For real. A warrior, not a whiner. Like, come on. That's the best thing I've heard all day. And it's true, you don't learn those things. And it's so funny that you said you felt weird, because I always was like, why don't this make sense to me? Like, why am I weird? And it wasn't that I was weird. but I thought it was because everybody else was like, go to college and do this and do that. And that just wasn't, I knew, like, I
Right.
just knew that it wasn't it. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen in my life. Like, I don't know. And so I bet, I can almost bet that about other people will relate to that as well. So I love that. I know that right now you're massive on Facebook. Like you've been on Facebook the longest, so it makes sense. But I want to know, and I always ask this question, and I think we get some of the best answers from this one, and it's, what if you started over today, right now? I mean, in a month, we don't know what it might look like, okay? But today, what apps would you be on the most? What would you be doing the most? What exactly would you be doing right now if you had to start all over from scratch?
It's a great question. And, I think once you do this type of business for a little while, you really become unemployable, right? And your vision becomes so big and you can't like put that back in a box. When it's like you find out, Santa doesn't exist. You can't go back to like believing that it does. So I can never go back to believing that going to school, getting a degree and getting a job was the way to be successful, because I already knew too many people that didn't finish college or even go to college that were making a lot of money. So, and it doesn't mean that college isn't for everyone. There's nothing that's for everyone, right? But I knew that network marketing was a better fit for me. Being an entrepreneur, being in sales made more sense for me and my personality. And, when you fast forward years later, finding social media was life-changing for me, because, that was really a way for me to build my business the way I wanted to build a business. So if I were to start all over today, obviously I would tell people to use social media. I would tell them to, start off with talking to your warm market. Even if your warm market sucks, right? Even if your warm market is, you just never know who they know. You never know if they'll become a customer, or maybe they'll put up a referral post on their wall on your behalf. It's just sometimes we think like, oh, none of my friends and family are going to be interested. And it's like, first of all, you should never prejudge people. Like, thank God my friend Mike Callahan did not prejudge me. And even if he kind of thought like, I don't know if Melton's going to do this or if he's going to be any good at it, he still brought me to the meeting, because he knew that the people that had the most butts in seats made the most money. Now it's whoever exposes the most people to the company video, or whoever ATMs the most people. Like, there are variables that determine your success. And that's why, you get this question too, Michelle. I'm sure I get it, at least a couple times a week, where people are like, well, how much time is this going to take? And, how long is it going to take me to start making serious money? I want to make 10,000 a month. And it's like, have you ever made 10,000 a month before? Like, no. Right. Well, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to make 10,000 a month than somebody that's accustomed to making that kind of money, because they have a different mentality. They have more influence. So it's just the way it is, right? So for someone that's just getting started and they're wondering what I would do, because maybe they're, kind of in that situation, I would really hit it hard with the people I'm already connected with, but then I would simultaneously add new friends, new followers every single day. Now, I will say this, even though I tell people to start on Facebook, right? Facebook to me is still like the hub. It's like, my number one platform. Plus we do the ATM system, right? Ad tag message. We use private Facebook groups, which are money. TikTok is huge for people that maybe feel like their warm market sucks. Maybe they've been in a bunch of different companies and they haven't had the kind of success that they desire. I think, if you're saying, hey, I want to go to the cold market, sure, you could cold prospect people, but I would rather, and I say this all the time, I would rather someone comes to me than for me to have to go to them, right? Like, if I have to prospect people, I'm fine with it, but I would rather prospect the people that are asking for information, the people that are following me. They're sending me a friend request. They're sending me a message. What's your product? What's your company? What do you do? Hey, I got a question, right? And the question could have nothing to do with my business, but they could say, hey, I'm interested in making money online. Can you teach me? And I'll say, well, have you ever made money online before? Do you have a product? Do you have something that, you have in mind that you're going to sell and promote? Like, no, not really. Like, well, do you have any idea what I do? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, we should have a conversation, right? The point is, I would rather have people come to me, right? Ray Higdon, the master of attraction marketing, probably the first real network marketer to master the attraction marketing conversation. He was one of the first ones I started following. Him, Mike Dillard, Gary Vaynerchuk, Shalene Johnson. Like there was a handful of people we started following way back then. And I just thought it was the greatest concept ever
Yeah,
because I don't like having to go find people. Like I don't want to 3-foot rule it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at the mall.
3-foot rule it. Oh my gosh. I've not heard that in so long. And that's so true. I think when I got started, that's kind of the thing. It was like, if they're breathing, that like I was Googling so much stuff, and you would hear people like, if they're breathing, go talk to them. And I'm like,
stick a mirror under their nose. If it fogs up, that's a prospect. Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't.
They got a pulse. Yeah.
I was like, I can't. But here's the thing. Like I think if I had to do it, like there was no other way, I would have done it for sure, no matter what. But am I glad that I didn't have to? For sure. And what you said that makes the most difference that people don't pick up on is like, if you start with friends and relationships that you've already built up, guess what? You're going to move faster probably than somebody like me who didn't have any. Right? Like none, nada. I can't expect to move the same amount. Like I shouldn't expect to move the same speed as Susie, who's been cultivating these relationships for forever. Right. When I have to start that. Like I have to, that's a brand new thing that I had to start. And so give yourself some grace on that if you've been a hermit for the last bazillion years and not talked to anybody. And number two is TikTok, and I think that people thought it was this big place where just people dance, and that's all that really happens. And it's become the place where people can be the least amount of perfect, and people eat it up.
Right.
Like it is, I think, probably the best place I've ever seen. You can have like 100 followers in a video, get thousands and thousands of comments on the whim, and you not even expect it just because you're over there showing up. Right. I've got a girl on my team. Her name's Carrie, and she does the same thing all the time. Like it's a similar thing. And she talks to the same type of person, which is, I think, the biggest deal is she's talking to a certain type of person, and she's doing the same thing all the time. She got on TikTok. She's over 50. And on her birthday, she hit 10K on TikTok. And I'm like, if this does not show everybody on the planet, like there's so many people, but when you know the person, it's like, you know that anybody can do it. And they're leads. Like, so I know that you're killing it on TikTok too. I see that if you're in this industry and not for me, I'm following the people who've already done the things that I want to do. Right. So I see your stuff. I see Ray's stuff, and I see, all these people's stuff. But on TikTok, I know that you're getting probably way more leads than you can count. If somebody's in that position where they are on TikTok or Reels or whatever, and they're getting more leads than they can like talk to themselves, or do they talk to all of them? What do you suggest somebody to do? I heard your answer on this on Clubhouse, and I thought that's what more people need to realize, that's what they should do.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you have a video go viral, it's like the most amazing, awesome thing and stressful thing, because you're like, there's so many people, I can't keep up. And, it's like I always tell people, that's the most positive problem you could ever have. You have too many people interested in talking to you about your product or opportunity. And the one thing over there, and we don't do a whole lot of this only because we're so busy with everything we've got going on, and it's not really how we show up on social media. But I have people on my team that literally do 3, 4, 5 TikToks a day. And people are like, how do you do so many TikToks? They're just talking. They're answering questions. They're providing value to the people that they know they want to attract, right? It's like you said with your friend on your team that hit 10,000 followers, like you said 50 years old. Like she knows that she wants to talk to probably other women that are in their 50s, and probably, talking about a specific type of product that she knows she loves. That's easy for her to talk about, right? So like in our company, we have a lot of people that have lost a lot of weight on our lean body system, or they love our collagen. So they'll just do videos, educating people, and not just on the products, but talking about like, their journey, their story, what they did to get in shape, or, other products they've tried. And, sometimes they're mixing it up and they're doing TikToks that have nothing to do with their products or opportunity, but they're building the relationship on the back end. They're engaging in the comments, right? They're connecting with some of these people on Instagram and Facebook. And, the ones that are probably having the most success, and they're the ones that have they've tried giving out their text message, project broadcast number. They've tried doing the application process. They've tried, connecting with people individually and inboxing people or telling them to inbox. The ones that I've seen that have had the most success, and I wouldn't recommend this on your other platforms. I wouldn't recommend this on Instagram or Facebook or, anything else, but with Clubhouse, TikTok, I think it's really advantageous to put your product link in your bio if you're going to promote your products, because the people that are crushing it and they're consistently telling their story, providing value, promoting the products, talking about the benefits, right? All the things that we learn inside of this profession on how to promote the products without being a Spamela Anderson, right? You can then drive them to your bio and they can buy the product that way. And what's great about it is you can almost get sales on autopilot, because with TikTok, like YouTube, you'll have videos that you did weeks and months ago that people will watch. And if you have a good call to action, like, hey, the link is in the bio if you want to save money, on your first order, whatever, then they go to the link. And some of these people literally have 2 to 3 sales per day coming in, people they never talk to, right? And the beauty is they're buying through the link in the bio. Now, again, would I typically teach people to do that on other platforms? No, only because we want to control the conversation. We want the lead coming to us typically. But like if someone is a blogger or an influencer on Instagram and they got 500,000 followers, they ain't going to connect with every person. They just don't have time for that. They're going to treat it like affiliate marketing. How would an affiliate marketer do it? They would have a swipe up. They would have the link in their bio. So it just makes sense to have the same conversation over on TikTok, not to mention, let's keep it 100. TikTok don't like MLM, right? They banned MLM. So, which is funny because I had some people that are like, I'm not going to be on a platform that doesn't support MLM. And I'm like, okay, more leads for us. Number one. Number two, none of the platforms really support MLM, because most MLMs, right. So it's like, look, just do what you want to do, test it out. It's up to you how you want to go about doing it. But once you have videos go viral, like I have this woman on my team, Jordan Lebeck, she's had, in the last couple of weeks, she's had like 2 or 3 videos go viral. Katie Sanders, same thing. And they literally just started talking about the products like 2 weeks ago and have already had some videos go gangbusters with like thousands of comments, from these videos, people asking, what is it? Tell me more. Where can I buy the product? How much is it? What is it? All that. So, it gets overwhelming. Could you engage one-on-one? Sure. Could you say, hey, send me a message? Yes, of course you could. But it would be nice just to say, hey, the details are in my bio, and you can just, have sales come through automatically. And the beauty is, as people are asking questions in the comments, you can then respond to those comments with a new freaking video. So that's a new TikTok. So a lot of them that are consistently crushing it, like we just had this woman, Vanessa, on our team, Vanessa J. She just surpassed 30,000 in sales. Personal sales for the month. And she's never done, I don't think she's ever done 10,000 in sales until she started getting on TikTok. So the potential is there, and you don't even have to, this is the other kicker, you don't even have to go viral to crush it over there. You just have to be consistent with your message, consistent with showing up. And again, it's not just posting and ghosting, posting and praying. It's having those conversations and engaging with the people that are engaging with you, because some people, maybe they don't buy after 1 or 2 videos, but after 10 or 20, and they've kind of been following you for a few weeks, they're like, fine. You finally said the right thing, or you caught them on the right day, or they just got sick and tired of not being where they want to be physically. And they're like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot, right? If there's a money back guarantee, or, you let them know that you got their back and you're going to support them, you let them know that, you can relate to them. You struggled before, and again, it doesn't have to be weight loss. It could be anything, any product, any opportunity. It's all a matter of you finding your own voice on social media, specifically on TikTok, being yourself, having fun, and just mixing it up and testing things out. And, it's really an interesting platform, because it's the first time where someone with no following, and you mentioned this, they could have, 100 followers. They could have, no clue how to, really use social media. And they can go over there and then go viral. They can become TikTok famous, as they call it, over there on TikTok. In fact, we had this woman, Laura. This was eye-opening. She downloaded the app in November because we were promoting the heck out of it. And she had one video go viral. Then that led to a whole bunch of other videos blowing up. I mean, she's at 240,000 followers at this point in just a matter of months. And it was all because one 60-second freaking video went gangbusters. And she gets leads. She gets leads on that video every day, months later.
And that's what does not happen anywhere else.
No.
Like, once you do a video on Facebook, it goes a couple days or whatever, and if somebody comments on it later, maybe it'll pop back up. But a couple days, it's over. It's tanked. It's done. It's done all it's gonna do, unless you run paid ads. And then, right? Like, it's like.
And even then, you don't get that kind of engagement. No. Like, you don't have like a video that you paid money for, that you boosted or sponsored, gets 1 million views. I mean, that's like, it's crazy. Anyway, you're right. You're right. You're so right.
1,000 or so, and that's it. And that's with the biggest. That's with already a huge organic reach. Like, it's so insane. So I love seeing that. And Clubhouse, I'm getting this the last thing, and I put the link. Listen to me. If you don't hear anything else that I've ever said in my life, okay, listen to this. Okay, the link that is on the screen. You can go there and you can download scripts that John and Nadia have used, the exact ones, okay, for free, 90 free, okay? So the link, get it, use them, and come back to this video and tell us after you use them how well it worked, okay? Don't change any words, but do it, okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Clubhouse, just because I want to know your take on it. We haven't had this conversation, but for me, I know what it's doing. I'm growing a lot. My business, I'm getting sales, even though I'm not talking about it over there. A lot of things are happening for me for Clubhouse, but I want to know what your take on it is for you, and then for just, what would you recommend somebody to be doing on there or not? Would you even recommend it?
Yeah, I mean, I think Clubhouse has massive potential because, again, like TikTok, it's not mainstream. It's not, well, TikTok's mainstream now, but it wasn't for a while. And the point is, when you look at Facebook and Instagram, they're much more mature platforms, and there's so many marketers. Everybody's posting on there. The algorithm is kind of against you, right? It's like that much harder to get attention. Where you look at Clubhouse, I don't even think Android has Clubhouse yet, right? Like, you're talking about 100 million users. What's that? Very soon. But right now they don't, right? So it's like you really have that opportunity to get in on the ground floor on a social platform. Now, the downside of social media, and this is all platforms, is that a lot of people get sucked in the scroll hole, or they get sucked into being a consumer, not a creator. So you got to be careful to not, just be on the platform essentially wasting time. I talked about being efficient and effective and thinking about, the big picture and what you're wanting to create, listening to other people talk. Even this conversation we're having right here, if you don't implement and execute what it is we share with you, then you're just, again, wasting your time. Now, you're still growing your mind and it's personal development, but at the end of the day, you should turn around and share what it is you learned from this conversation or from a Clubhouse conversation, right? ILT it, right? And then in addition to that, you want to start thinking like a marketer and think like, how can I use said platform, TikTok, Clubhouse, whatever? How can I use this to be a creator of content? How can I, spread my message, right? Like, how can I get on other people's stages and get the attention of others? Now, the other thing too that's powerful with Clubhouse is if you are listening to someone and they're sharing a great tip, they're sharing a great insight, they have a great story, you can also message those people over on Instagram and, let them know, your biggest takeaway, or that you appreciate them, get to know them, ask them questions. Like, it's like any other social platform, right? You want to be a creator, not just a consumer. You don't want to, be on there just wasting time. You want to be on there to connect and provide value and build relationships. And then on the back end, you want to connect one-on-one with people. And it's very important that we remember that social media is meant for socializing. It's meant for connection. It's meant for relationship. In fact, you can call network marketing relationship marketing. Like, if you're not building relationships, if you're not building with, really the friend first, marketer second mentality, too many people, especially like the old school network marketer, it's like all they're doing is pitching everybody on their thing. Their thing is the only good thing. Thank God it's not like that anymore. It's not as bad as it used to be, I should say. Like, just 5 years ago, it's like you couldn't even talk to other network marketers. Half of them would just be so brainwashed and just obsessed with their company and their product that, like, all other companies suck. All other products suck until they're off to the next shiny penny. And then that's the greatest thing ever. And the last thing sucked. And you're like, are you lying now or were you lying then? But the point is, nowadays you do see a lot more collaboration. It could be partly because of the Ray Higdons and the Eric Worreys and the pioneers of, these generic network marketing, trainings. But, it's really powerful to see the connections that are made and the relationships that are established because of these platforms. But again, it's showing up as a human first, a friend first, and a marketer second. So hopefully that helps you all. But yeah, don't get caught up in just listening to Clubhouse for 10 hours, 20 hours a week or more, and you're not actually creating, you're not contributing. And I always tell people, like, even when I'm listening on Clubhouse and I'm on the panel and I might be, sharing some stuff, like, when it's not my time to talk, just being honest, I'm either taking notes or, which is what I'm doing most of the time, I'm working my business. Like, I'm responding to messages. I'm engaging on my other social platforms, which, again, so I got 2 phones. Like, I can literally see your comments while you are talking. And I remember when I first got a second phone, everybody's like, that's so weird. Like, why do you need 2 phones? Like, I'm like, well, why do you have a laptop and a phone? Why do you have an iPad and a phone? Like, I just got 2 phones. Like, I'm rarely on my laptop. I'm rarely on an iPad. Like, I have 2 phones. And once you have 2 phones, you'll understand why you need 2 phones.
You'll never go back. I remember when I'm on a computer right now, but that's only for StreamYard. Only for StreamYard do I use this, which is why the picture is weird. But anyway, but I have 2 phones. I have an Android phone and an iPhone. I have the newest in both, and I will never not, ever, because once I got it, I was like, what is even, like, exactly what you said. I'm like, I have so much going on at one time that I feel like I'm winning at life. Like, I'm just like, this is it right here.
It's just like a machine. You're like it's so much easier to get more done faster. And here's just a little example. The other day, the iPhone messaging was like jacked up. Now, it could have been my internet, could have been who knows, but it just wasn't working. So I was like, all right, I typically use Messenger more on my iPhone, but let me switch to my Droid, and it was perfect. So it's good to know sometimes you're like, is it the phone?
You have an iPhone and an Android too.
Same thing. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I started out as an Android person though, and I love the iPhone. I love the iPhone now, but I didn't, and this is the first one that I've loved. I've got the Pro Max, the 12, and
do you use talk and text a lot?
Yes.
Like, literally, once you start using the iPhone talk and text, you'll never use Android. Android is just embarrassing. It's like when I talk and text on Android, it's like I'll like read the sentence. I'm like, that's really bad.
I've not used it on the iPhone
because I've been iPhone talk and text is like almost perfect. It literally is almost perfect. You have to use it.
All right, it's happening. Well, thank you. Okay, so before we go, if there's anything, like if there's any one thing you're like, if something they can go from this video right now, aside from go do a freaking TikTok or go share something that you've learned from this video, go get those flipping scripts from the link. Okay, besides that, if there's something you would say go do today or do this week, what would it be? And then I'm going to let you go. Yeah,
I mean, I think one of the most important things when you're building a network marketing business is to really get clear on what are the most important income producing activities. And look, in fact, drop it to the comments. Let us know what kind of products are you selling, makeup, skincare, hair care, cleaning products, knives, bowls, beads, pots, pans, jewelry, health and wellness, legal service, travel service, whatever. Let us know in the comments what you're selling. I'm curious, but I think you really need to get clarity. Like, what are those most important income producing activities? And you have got to focus at least, in my opinion, at least 1 hour a day, dedicated time, create a schedule. Just like if you had a part-time job, like if you waited tables on the weekends or bartended or whatever, like you would have to be there at a certain time and you couldn't leave until the job was done. You can't just go tired. I'm going to head home. Like, no, dude, it's midnight. Like you still got 2 more hours and then you got to clean, like, right. And that's a shitty part-time job. Like this is a multi-million-dollar business opportunity. Now you might not see that. You might not believe that. I didn't either. It took me 7 years to create a 6-figure income and 16 years to create 7 figures. And last year was the first year that we started earning multiple 6 figures per month. Now I never would have believed that 10 years ago, especially not 20 years ago, but you just keep chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. But the clear indicator for me as to why I'm here and others are not, and others that you all have no idea how many people I've met along the way that were like, they were good, they were sharp, and they're not even in network marketing today. And I'm talking about like 7-figure earners. I'm talking about people that were like ridiculous on stage, charismatic, hilarious. They could move a crowd of 20,000 people into action, and they are not in network marketing today. And that's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
And part of the reason a lot of people don't make it in this profession is they don't think long-term. They don't treat it like a business. They don't have any structure to their day. So I really think you need to get organized. You need to get serious. If you love this as much as we do, Michelle and I absolutely love what we do. But if you love it that much, like prove it. Get organized, get serious, like create that schedule and you hold yourself accountable and you go, you know what? Like we created this, we call it the FAME formula, FAME. We want to help you become famous in your company. And these are the most important income producing activities. Nadia's in the background. Woo! So let's say you work your business an hour or 2 a day. Like, you have to keep starting teams. You have to lead by example. You want to motivate your existing team, start some new freaking teams. But F stands for follow-up. Like if you're not following up with the people that you've already talked to, you're not following up with your customers, you're not following up with your prospects, like it's unlikely you're gonna have a high close ratio. The fortune is in the follow-up. We all know this. So you can do that for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Then the A stands for ATM your face off. If you don't know what the ATM system is, check out our website, mylifestyleacademy.com. Michelle mentioned it. We pioneered this ATM system in my network marketing company, in the company we're a part of. And then we're the creators of the ATM Business Academy. And it's as simple as this. Someone says, what is it? Tell me more. I'm interested. You add them to a group, you tag them in a video, and then you send them a message. Hey, Michelle, I added you to the group. I tagged you in some information. Tomorrow, when I follow up with you, I'm going to introduce you to some of my partners, my mentors, some of my leaders, so you can get to know them. You can get your questions answered. And all you have to do is what I'm doing with you right now. Someone's interested, right? We add them to a group. We tag them in some information. The M, I think you need to share a piece of content every day. And please hear me. It doesn't have to be original content. When you're going through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you see something, you hear something, write it down, share it on your freaking wall. You can share a quote that you heard someone say, and guys, you can just acknowledge them. It's not a big deal. I share what Ed Milet says. I share what Gary Vaynerchuk says. I share what Gary B says, or Chalene Johnson, or Marie Forleo, or Nadia Melton. Like, it doesn't have to be an original thought. You could be a freaking DJ, DJ Khaled. Has he ever wrote a song? I don't know. But if he has, I don't know of it because he's typically DJing other people's songs, right? Anyway, and then you got the E. You should always be expanding your network, adding new friends, connecting with people in Facebook groups, on TikTok, whatever. Like, you need to extend your network, expand your network. You need to meet new people, and you should be getting referrals. I'm telling you, some of the best people in my business today, some of the top performers, they were introduced by a dud. Every dud knows a stud. I mean, I have people right now that are like top earners in my organization, and they were introduced by someone that isn't even in our company right now. Y'all, I mean, if that doesn't excite you and also FOMO you into like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I have people right now that are probably a dud, but they know a freaking stud. Like I need to get into their network now. Anyway.
Right now. You are so much fire. You're so much fire. And I don't know, but Nadya, and I've got to get her on with me next. It's got to happen. I feel like she's the only one I've not met. I'm so sad. Well, Denise.
Nadia, she's saying how you're the only
Girl.
one she hasn't met. Michelle Eldridge. So here's what's interesting about Nadia. When we go to like masterminds, we do team events, we speak on stage, it's so funny. Like I'll never forget the one time I had this person, this happens often, but this person goes, John, your leadership segment was my favorite. And then I met your wife and I talked to her for 10 minutes. And out of the entire 5-hour event, she was my biggest takeaway. I'm like, what is, and like, we go down to Destin this past weekend. We have our annual conference, but it's virtual. And I post in the group, I'm like, what was your biggest takeaway from the entire event? And the people that were at the retreat, out of the entire event, they're mentioning their biggest takeaways from their little powwow with Nadia and her little session with them. And she can't hear you, by the way, because I got my earbud in, but I was just, anyway, so it's funny because she's always like the mystery behind the scenes person. Like I'm always out there talking and doing videos in Clubhouses. Like she won't get on Clubhouse. And actually, this is a good lesson because Nadia and I, those of you that are working together with a partner, a spouse, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, you work with your mom or dad, whatever, like we figured out I like being on the front, like talking, producing content in the trenches with my team, but I don't even know the login to my website. I don't want to be involved in the back end. I don't want to be involved in making the blogs look nice or even doing the blog posts. Like she does that with her virtual team. And so she's decided, and this was probably 2 years ago, she decided like, I'm not going to be doing interviews, videos. Like I can barely get her on Money Monday with me. She's never been on Clubhouse, right? So it's good to know this though, right? It's like, you don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like Michelle. You be you. You figure out what works for you. And of course, Nadia is still involved in our business, but like we just have different roles. She's the one that organized all the guides. She's the one that organizes the content, puts together the beautiful PDFs on our website. And it's exciting when you figure out like your wheelhouse, like you're like, all right, like on a baseball team, it's like you're the cleanup hitter or the closer or you're the leadoff guy. And like my role is to get on base. My role is not to hit home runs. My goal is to get on base because I'm fast and I have good contact, right? Where the cleanup hitter's like, look, I can strike out a lot. But the idea is I need to hit the ball over the fence or the gaps and drive in the leadoff hitter. So it's like when you know your role and you figure out like this is my wheelhouse, like maybe TikTok isn't your wheelhouse. Get on Clubhouse, right? Maybe you say Clubhouse isn't for me. Like it's boring. I can't learn by listening. Great. Get on TikTok or get on whatever. The point is, I think it's exciting when you know like who you want to be, how you want to show up. You get that schedule in place. You know those IPAs and what moves the needle. And once you have that structure and you've got like clarity equals power and you're unstoppable. And I think that's why like people are like, man, you guys have so much passion and energy. And you know what? I'll tell you this. It's partly because I get my 8 hours of sleep every night. I don't do a lot of work in the evening. Like I respond to some messages here and there, but I crush during the day so that I can have more availability and flexibility. Like we went out to dinner last night, with my well, actually not my son, my daughter. My son had baseball practice, but we're at all my son's baseball games. We travel with him. It's like having that lifestyle. And how many of us smash the hard button if you're on the same page with me? It's not about the money. It's about the freedom. Yep. And it's about the lifestyle, which is why our website is My Lifestyle Academy. Anyway, I'm sorry to go on that rant, but I think it's good to talk about that because it ain't about working 100 hours a week and burning yourself out and not loving what you do.
Oh my God. That was so good. I can't stand it. I really, truly am. You're such fire and you bring so much value to every single, like anything I've ever saw you do. You are giving people exacts like this is it, and you're to the point. It's not the fluffy BS that the appropriate answers. You know what I'm talking about? It's not that. It's this is what you need to. You got to figure this out if you want. If you really want this, Prove it. That like, come on. And
Yeah.
the thing with being in react mode, which is what a lot of people are all day long, react. They're not controlling their day. It's kind of running there. When you finally can get out of that, if they do what you just said to do and actually take control and hold themselves accountable, be their own boss for real, if that's what it's going to take, and actually control their day, they're gonna win. You can't lose when you're the one controlling your day. And
I love that you said that. I just posted yesterday. Forget about 5-10 years from now. Just win today. I love that you mentioned that. Yeah.
You have
win
to.
the day.
You have to win the day every day. So with that, John, oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to know, everybody that's went and got those scripts, you got to tell me below if you got them. I hate not seeing the comments, even though I've got this phone in my hand.
I see the comments. People are excited. Sarah and Suzanne and Tish, Shelly, y'all are great, amazing. Thank you for hanging out. Smashing that hard button. There we go. Riley, what's up? Yes, just win today.
Well, I feel like if I do way better if I'm on my phone. For some reason, StreamYard's weird with me. So I appreciate you and everything that you've shared. And I cannot wait to do more stuff with you. I cannot wait. In fact, I think
Michelle, I gotta say, I was so sad you didn't come on the yacht with us.
Oh no, man! Was that
you were one of the people we wanted to see? You know,
I was
like
I even asked her, "Is Nadia coming?" I said that to you, remember? And I was like, I was coming. I left the house. And then my car, well, first I couldn't. At first I couldn't. I leave the house in my car. It won't do nothing. The computer freezes up. I can't start it. I can't anything. And so then like, I don't want to go. It's saying my brakes don't work. And it wasn't brakes at all. It's a heat and oxygen sensor. It's what they say it was. My husband it was like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And I'm like, my husband cannot take care of my daughter. If I wake her up right now and make them drive me, I was so devastated. But I ended up letting Mary Kate, she ended up getting my spot and taking care of the people that had one spot. So I feel like, that was cool.
It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. We missed you though, for sure.
Florida, for Marina's thing.
July?
Yes.
Most likely.
Well, if you do, I will see you there. So
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Feel free to share this with your team. Tag your people. The real deal has been here giving you your time, and I hope that you share it with as many people as possible. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.